Hey guys, it's Happy Dude. Now, the reason why I am making this video is because I didn't find any good material out there for people who are beginners and know absolutely nothing about transmitters and receivers for RC vehicles. Okay, so my first project is actually an RC tank in full metal. You can find everything about it on my channel. And in that tank I've installed this hobby grade board. It's from Elmod and it has a lot of functions and the quality is absolutely amazing. So this is what gives the tank all its functions, and to control the tank we have a transmitter. This one came with that board because it's relatively cheap. You can buy it for, I think, 55 euros or so, and for the price it has a lot of functions. You can change almost anything in the menus. It's a 6-channel. What does that mean? It means you can control 6 functions on your vehicle. So usually this is channel 1, channel 2, channel 3 and channel 4. Now on this transmitter, this channel was not spring loaded, so I needed to install that myself. Of course, this radio is actually to fly airplanes. That's why this one is actually loose original, because in an airplane this is the full throttle and you don't want the propeller to go backwards. And this is channel 5 and this is channel 6, and these switches you can use for safety switches. For instance, if you give it some throttle that the airplane doesn't take off, or for automatic throttle. Now if you have a 6-channel transmitter, you will have a 6-channel receiver, and it will always be indicated where to put the battery. So on this receiver it's on top, and each receiver has always 3 pins, and the one on the left here on my finger for the whole row is the signal. Then the middle ones is the positive, and then the ones on the outside, they are all negative. It's like this for most receivers. So I bought another radio because the feeling when I was driving the tank just doesn't feel right to me, because this radio is actually for airplanes intended, and it also needs 8 AA batteries, and that's quite a lot. And because it's only 6 channels, I was missing some features, like for instance controlling the sound volume of the tank. So I bought a 14-channel radio. Now this one is the Reflex Stick Multi Pro LCD. Wow, what a sentence. With real fake carbon fiber. But this transmitter is actually intended for vehicles on the ground and boats. And both sticks are with springs, and the feeling when you're driving your vehicle is just perfect. So if you move it a little bit, your vehicle will begin slow, and when you give it full throttle, you will go faster. Now, what you cannot do with this one is switch up the channels in the memory of the radio. You can do that with this one. The menus here are pretty limited. Actually, the only thing you can change in the menus are which model you are driving, reversing the signal. For instance, if you press forward and the motor goes backwards, you can change that. And you can also change the throttle curve. But actually, in fairness, you don't really need more than that. And this radio is only 150 euros. Now that may sound a lot for you, but that's actually really cheap. Because don't forget, it's a 14 channel radio, and I saw 8 channel radios up to 300-400 euros. Now the reason why I bought this is because in the future I will buy some RC trucks and maybe some boats, so this will come in handy. And this one only takes 4 AA batteries. And you can even buy a big battery for it. A multi-pack battery. So, here are all the functions and the buttons. We have a turn button for volume, for example. We have a switch with 3 positions, so the middle one is off, and then up is on and down is also on. So you have 2 functions for each button right here. So channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And these switches, they are spring loaded, so they come back on their own. All 4. And these stay in position. You can program up to 15 different vehicles in this radio. So that's more than enough. So how does a radio work and how to connect it? Well, in your manual you will find which button is which channel. You have to know that. For instance, this is channel 1. If you press forward, this will send a signal to the receiver to channel 1, and then it will go to the wire to the board. The board will decide what to do with it, and then it will send it to the motor. And of course, each board also has pins that are dedicated to doing something, so you cannot switch that up. But what if you want to change the functions of the buttons on the radio and you cannot change it in the menu? Well, it's very simple. For instance, I wanted to use this button right here for the volume. Well, you just look in the manual which channel this is. This is 12. Then you look which wire on the board will change the sound. In my case, it's the white one. So you also want to use the manual of your board. And then you simply put that wire into channel 12. Now earlier in the video I talked about the 3 pins, and it's just the same on this receiver. From left to right, signal, positive and negative. But you will notice that this board uses only 1 wire for each function. not 3. So that automatically means that it's just a signal wire. So that's why all the wires are on the left pin. I will give you another example. Throttle is usually on the right side. I cannot switch it in the menu, so I simply switch the wires on the receiver. Because I'm a gamer, I want throttle on the left. Running and going forward in games is always the left stick, and movement is always right. So I simply switched the wire from channel 1 to channel 3. So I hope this video was useful for you, and by the way, this radio is now for sale. And of course, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe for more. Thanks for watching and you all have a nice day. Bye.